What is up, budget builders, and happy new year. It is 2022. My name is Trail, and if you have been following this channel over the past couple of weeks, you know that more states and local governments have been providing stimulus relief aid for its residents, from low income to moderate income individuals, as well as stimulus aid in the form of a universal basic income. Well, I wanted to make a quick video of all of the stimulus relief aids or these stimulus checks that we know of so far, and this information should cover around 21 states that have officially offered some type of stimulus relief aid, from $300 up to $2,000. And if it turns out I didn't include something in this video, don't forget to post a comment down below so that others in the community can have that information as well. And we also just added an $8,000 incentive check to the list. Now, we also have information on whether or not we are ever going to see student loan forgiveness, as President Biden mentioned on the campaign trail back in 2020. Now, if those particular topics sound interesting to you today and you want to see more, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you end up liking this video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel. Now, let's go ahead and get back into this video. Now, real quick, I wanted to ask you guys for a huge favor and your support on my new YouTube channel that we'll be launching this year, and it's called Budget Bill Finance. I am going to be talking about growing your wealth, investing in stocks and real estate, as well as showing you guys what I am doing outside of YouTube. So if you want to be a part of that channel, be so kind and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you guys there. Now, that link will be down below in the description. Okay, starting off with some great news today. Dr. Anthony Fauci is now predicting the Omicron COVID variant will peak in the U.S. by the end of January. Yes, Dr. Anthony Fauci predicted the latest wave of the coronavirus pandemic may hit its peak by the end of this month. He said, "It's tough to say right now, but when the surge in infections fueled by Omicron variant will start to recede." He said, "I would imagine, given the size of our country and the diversity of vaccinations versus non-vaccinations, that it likely will be more than a couple of weeks, probably by the end of January," he would think. So this is some great news, as we really have been seeing a huge amount of COVID cases in this country, as well as other countries as well. And knowing that, at least in this country, I don't know where you guys are from, but in the United States, hopefully that we can almost end this pandemic by the end of January. Let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that this news turns positive. Now, in other news, guys, hey, what about the student loan payments that keeps getting delayed over and over and over again? I believe those payments have been delayed over like 4 times so far. But in this article, guys, student loan payments keep getting delayed. Will the debt ever be forgiven? And we already know that President Biden actually promised the American people back in 2020 on the campaign trail, and so far he has not held up to his word. But we are still keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that he will be able to at least wipe away $10,000 if you have a federal student loan. Now, these particular payment pause for student loan borrowers has been extended at least 5 times during the pandemic, and advocates say it's time for a deeper relief in the form of debt forgiveness. Now, Scott Haynes heard that the Biden administration was giving student loan borrowers another 3 months before they'll have to start making their payments again. On the other hand, a freelance photographer in Brooklyn, New York, doesn't know how fast spreading Omicron variant of COVID-19 will impact his work, and so getting a little more time is a relief for him as well as for America. Now, more than a decade after graduating college, he still owes more than $20,000. Yet the repeated extensions are just a kind of spot treatment on a national crisis that we have in this country. A year into Joe Biden's presidency, Haynes is disappointed the chief executive hasn't moved to forgive student loan debt. On the campaign trail, Biden promised to cancel at least $10,000 per borrower. He said that, "I don't see student loan debt as something that there is a way out of so far or a way around it. My sights are set on what our political leadership is going to do about this crisis." He said when the pandemic first hit this country in March of 2020, the U.S. Department of Education announced that it was offering the millions of Americans with student loan debt the ability to press the pause button on their loan payments without interest accruing. Research shows that nearly all borrowers accepted that offer. But now this offer is being extended for another 3 months. But what will we see after those 3 months have passed, which is going to be around April of 2022? What are the American people going to do about these payments that are going to be due at that time? Will they end up pushing it back a 7th time as well? Or will they just go ahead and end it because the pandemic will almost be over? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. But we do need to go ahead and move on to these stimulus checks or this stimulus relief aid, because we have 21 states that are right now offering some form of type of stimulus relief aid for its residents in the states or its local cities. So guys, right here in this article, it says that incentive payments that are available in every state in 2021 and 2022. And here is a guide to cash ranging from $300 up to $2,000 for each individual. Many states offer aid to those in need, and many families became accustomed to the monthly tax credits for children. But since the Build Back Better Act was not passed before Congress adjourned for the holidays, December was the last check for families with children for the time being. Now, more than 36 million families across the country received the latest batch of the monthly advance payments, totaling about $16 billion. The White House has suggested that the IRS could make double payments in February as an alternative. Now, meanwhile, households are adjusting their budgets to prepare for the higher prices and less stimulus money going into 2022. And there are states with dollars to distribute still going forward. Now, here's the rundown of states that do or don't give money to those in need right now. For Alabama, there is no word on a fourth stimulus check, but the state's Altogether program hopes to connect people in need with its services. For Alaska, the Permanent Fund Dividend pays eligible Alaska residents investment income from mineral royalties, and the 2021 PFD amount is $1,114. Now, the funds went out on October the 11th of 2021. So if you live in Alaska, make sure that if you are eligible or not to receive that stimulus check of $1,114. Now, the state is also looking to help residents with their winter heating bills, so you want to look up that information as well. Now, moving on to Arizona, the state's Back to Work program offers a one-time bonus of $2,000, and eligible individuals who return to work and work for 8 weeks between May 13th and September the 6th will be eligible for the $2,000 stimulus check. Now, bonuses are awarded after the person has stopped receiving unemployment benefits and has met work requirements with a qualified employer. And about $300 million has been set aside for this program. Now, financing is available on a first-come, first-served basis. Now, the program will end when the money runs out, but the Arizona agenda has determined that more than 26,000 people have applied for the bonus, but the state has paid less than half of that money so far, even though the payouts are still ongoing. Arkansas, there is no word of a fourth stimulus check. California, you guys already know, the biggest state in this country, has sent out the final round of Golden State Stimulus 2 checks starting on December the 27th. Now, these checks range from $600 up to $1,100, and paper checks are sent with the last 3 digits of your zip code and will be sent through January the 11th of 2022. Now, in addition, the city of Los Angeles has also launched its Guaranteed Income Pilot Program. In 2022, approximately 3,000 families will receive $1,000 for the year. Now, in Colorado, no word on a fourth stimulus check. Connecticut, the Back to Work Connecticut program, gave a $1,000 bonus to the first 10,000 unemployed eligible individuals who get a job and keep it for 2 months. About $10 million has been allocated for this particular program, and in September it reached its maximum number of applications. Delaware, there is no word on a stimulus check. Florida, some employees received a payment of $1,000. Teachers and first responders were also eligible for that stimulus check. The one-time payment for Florida workers were a thank you to those who acted during the pandemic, and those checks went out on August of 2021. The Florida governor has also proposed a new round of teacher bonuses for the year of 2022. So that's some good news going forward in Florida. Now, Georgia, during the summer, Georgia paid full-time teachers and administrators $1,000. Part-time teachers also received $500. Approximately 230,000 K-12 faculty and staff were also eligible for this particular benefit. Now, in Hawaii, there is no word on the fourth stimulus check. In Idaho, there were no stimulus check, but taxpayers in Idaho received a one-time tax refund of $50. Now, in Illinois, the city of Chicago will give $500 to 5,000 low-income families as part of its pilot program for the Guaranteed Basic Income Program. Now, those payments are expected to begin sometime in 2022. Now, for Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, they have no word on a fourth stimulus check, but Louisiana has put its money into rebuilding communities that were devastated by Hurricane Ida, as well as FEMA has also been helping those individuals that also had some damage done by this hurricane. Now, those affected by the storm may be eligible for a one-time payment of $500 per household, as well as support from temporary housing. Meanwhile, there is no word on a fourth stimulus check in Louisiana. Now, for Maine, the state of Maine is sending its residents who worked during the pandemic a one-time $285 disaster benefit. Now, payments did start in November and will continue until the end of 2021. Now, for Maryland, Maryland gave out eligible residents payments of $500 for families and $300 for individuals who filed for the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is known as the EITC. According to the Comptroller's Office, a total of 422,531 Maryland residents were eligible for these state payments, and 98% of those were in February. Now, a spokesman of the Comptroller of Maryland told The Sun that as of November the 30th, 7,800 people of the payments were sent out for those particular refunds. Now, those affected should update their email addresses and can contact Maryland's Taxpayer Services Division at 1-800-MD-TAXES. I hope that information was helpful to you. But Massachusetts doesn't have any word on the fourth stimulus check. But Michigan, the state also provided a $500 stimulus check as far as a risk allowance to teachers and support staff. And those checks went out in February of 2021. Now, for Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, Nevada, they have no word on a fourth stimulus check. New Hampshire, the state gives a check for $1,086 to families with no income. It is part of the temporary assistance for families in need program, which I think is also called TANF. Now, payments are monthly for eligible families. New Jersey has no word on a fourth stimulus check, but the state sent out a $500 tax refund to eligible families. Now, those checks were sent out this past summer. Now, for New Mexico, incentive checks ended in November, which they didn't mention how much those incentive checks were for New Mexico. Now, the state of New York, the state will provide one-time incentive payments of $2,750 to workers in select tourism industries as part of the Tourism Worker Recovery Fund. Now, as many as 36,000 workers are out of work because these sectors and jobs had the least chance of returning after the pandemic. And the New York Department of Labor is currently contacting New Yorkers eligible for the one-time payment via email as well as text message with further instructions. For North Carolina, there is no word on their fourth stimulus check. For North Dakota, in August, the U.S. Department of Education approved North Dakota to use its U.S. bailout funds to support K-12 schools and students with $101 million that's been allocated to the state in this area. For Ohio, there is no word on a fourth stimulus check, but Oklahoma, the state gives a one-time $1,200 back-to-work incentive benefit to the unemployed who have found a job. And over the summer, those payments began to fall out. Now, for Oregon, no word on the fourth stimulus check, as well as Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and South Dakota has no word on a fourth stimulus check. But in Tennessee, some government employees received a hazard compensation. Full-time teachers received a $1,000 bonus, and part-time teachers received a $400 bonus. These amounts differ per district, and those payments will be made until the end of 2021. Now, for Texas, some school districts gave its teachers a raise. Now, for Utah, there is no word on the fourth stimulus check, but in Vermont, there is no word word on a stimulus check, but it does offer people that want to take a job and move to Vermont, they are offering a one-time payment. And the new relocating worker grant is worth $7,500 if you want to move to Vermont to take a job. Now, for Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, no word on the fourth stimulus check, but in Wyoming, there's no word on the fourth stimulus check, but they further explained that the Golden State's California stimulus program, plus information about the child discount and the December payments. Now, a surprise $300 stimulus payment was sent in time for Christmas for those in Wyoming. I hope this information was helpful to you guys, but we also have one more piece of information in regards to an $8,000 incentive check. Well, they are saying that the child and dependent tax credit will provide up to $8,000 for certain eligible Americans. Parents must have an AGI of less than $125,000 per year and 2 children under the age of 13 years old. In addition, the money will go towards helping parents cover the cost of raising and caring for their children. For one child, parents can claim up to $8,000. And for more than 2 children, they can claim up to $16,000. With qualifying expenses such as childcare, transportation, and other allowances, you can claim the money on your tax return. Now, here's how to claim that money for the new incentive payment worth up to $8,000. Now, families with children will receive a child tax credit in 2021 and may be eligible for additional funds to help with childcare expenses. Now, in addition, the U.S. Rescue Plan Act, which went into effect in March, significantly increased child and dependents tax relief per the IRS. Now, that means you can get up to $4,000 for one eligible child or dependent and up to $8,000 for 2 children. Now, this means that more taxpayers are eligible for the credit for the first time and that the amount of the credit for more taxpayers is higher than in previous years. Meanwhile, unless Congress can reach a deal to renew the expanded child tax credit program, it was set to expire in 2021. Now, in addition to that, guys, hey, for qualified families, the child tax credit was increased to $3,600 for children under the age of 6 years old and $3,000 for children ages 6 through 17 years old from July through December of 2021. And thanks to the expanded program, half of those payments were made in the form of a monthly stimulus check. Now, the remaining child tax credit payments will be available when qualifying families file their tax returns in 2021. So again, guys, hey, you might be eligible for one of these $8,000 stimulus checks, or if you have more than 2 children, you could be eligible up to $16,000. Now, I'm going to go ahead and link this article down below in the description so that you can read it over for yourself, because I know I was reading this article rather quickly, but I want you to have this information on hand so that you will know more information if you are eligible for one of these stimulus checks. Now, again, guys, all of this information today, I hope it was helpful to you guys out there. Hey, but anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like this video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.